So who's your voice? I ask these questions to try to understand how seriously companies are taking social media in terms of who is actually doing the talking for the company. And the question was, for each of these particular groups, how often are they involved? The red is they're actively involved, the teal is somewhat involved, rarely involved, or never involved. We have a lot of owners who say they are actively involved. Some of the companies say they've got a staff member, and this was a dedicated staff member. This is everyone in the company, interns, using an outside company, customers and prospects. The big change year over year between the 2010 study and the 2011 study was the interns. A year ago, the interns had a significant presence in creating content. And in 1 year, that has switched. I actually take that as a really good sign, because a year ago, basically the idea was social media wasn't important. We'll let the intern do it. This year, there seems to be a clear feeling that this is important enough that we can't relegate it to the least experienced, least knowledgeable person in our company. And I think that is a really healthy sign. Taking a closer look at owners. I looked at based on the size of the company. Not surprised. I got rid of all my one-mans. So it's companies of 2 to 5 people, because obviously that would skew the data, because if there was anyone involved with social media, it would be the owner. What you see is the owner's participation is pretty level until you get to companies of more than 25. Suddenly, when you're dealing with an organization of that size, the owner has really stepped out of a lot of the day-to-day, they've stepped out of a lot of the marketing, and you see a real fall-off in their involvement. The other thing, though, that was interesting is, well, next one. Let me hit the next one. So you've got the owners. So then the next question we asked is, well, what about looking at, are you outsourcing it? This was interesting. This is the one that really was interesting. Was companies with 6 to 10 people are more likely to outsource than companies with 11 to 24. And actually, in our own experience, that's what's happening. We do social media for a lot of companies, and last month, and I take it as a point of pride when my clients grow. I'm excited for them because it means we did our job. Unfortunately, it also means that very often they don't need us anymore. In a 2-week period, we had 3 clients who basically were moving kind of across this threshold. And when they did, they hired a dedicated staff person. They hired someone who was going to do social media. So I think that's why you see a little bit more of a spike for marketing companies being involved here and not here. And then they return when you start to get really big, because at that point they have budget and they're ready to pay for expertise that they don't necessarily want to have in-house. And looking at the other side of it, do you have a dedicated employee? It absolutely reflects exactly what you saw, that in the 11 to 24 range, suddenly your dedicated employees start picking up.